Right, so today we're having a look at the IP65 Zigbee LCD Smart Temperature Humidity Sensor. This is the new version that's IP65 rated. Now don't forget you can buy this through Sonoff, ITEAD.CC if you're looking for the global website, and I'll put a link to this in the description below. If you're in the US and the EU, there are now local warehouses for faster delivery, and that's Sonoff.TECH for the website. But again, these links will be in the video description below. So some of the main features of this temperature sensor include, obviously, the IP65 rating is the big plus here. 400 foot of coverage using Zigbee 3.0, a 2-year battery life, a 5-second refresh on the screen, a 2.2-inch display. You can choose between Celsius and Fahrenheit, and it goes -20 to +60 degrees C, and humidity values will display from 0% to 100%. So what else can it do? Well, it'll work with Alexa, it'll work with Google Home, it works with Home Assistant, ewelink app as well. It'll give you app alerts, and you can download your data in CSV file formats. Okay, so let's unbox the Sonoff IP65 Smart Thermometer. Now I've already turned it on inside, so you already see it on, but you get a little hanging cord with it when you open it up, and then you get the main unit itself, and then you get an instruction manual as well. So then when you pull it out the sleeve, let's see, I've already got this one on. If you turn it over, you've got to open that up, unscrews, and basically pull out the tab for the battery, and you'll see the battery in there. And then it should turn on, and it will try and connect to something, but don't worry if you haven't got anything to connect to, because basically you can just use this without connecting to Zigbee or anything like that. If you haven't got any electronics to attach it to, you can just use it and see it visually on the screen. So 25.5 degrees, 50.9% humidity, and it's showing the battery level on there as well. If you want to change the Celsius Fahrenheit, then you need to add it onto the app. Now they also make this with a probe version, so if you need to put the probe in somewhere to measure the humidity and temperature, you can do that. Look for those on the website, and I'll put a link to those as well in the video description. So what's different with this one compared to the other one that was out previously? Well, I just so happen to have one here. I'll go through the differences in a moment, but visually I just wanted to show you the difference in size. So there's a big difference in size. I like the bigger one because the numbers are bigger and are a bit easier to kind of read as well. And then on the back of this one, you've got a nice little stand so you can prop it up, and it comes with a magnetic backing that you can kind of tape on, attached to anything really. Although this one is magnetic on the back, so if you want to add this onto something magnetic, you just slap it on and it'll stay there. So other than that, you can hang it off something obviously as well with the cable. So there's another alternative for you as well. So there's the main differences. Now let's go through and see what the real differences are between the two. Okay, so let's just briefly compare the two, just in case you're thinking about getting the other one, which I've already reviewed. So the SNZB-02WD on the left, that quotes a 5-year battery life with a CR2450 battery inside. It's got a 2.5-inch display, as you saw earlier. It's a bigger display, and it can go from -10 to +60 degrees C, with humidity values of 5% to 95%, and it has a stand and a wall plate, which I think are really good. Whereas on the right hand side, the one I'm reviewing today, the IP65 version, that's quoting a 2-year battery life as opposed to a 5-year, with a different type of battery, a CR2477 in it, and with a smaller display, a 2.2-inch display, but it can go colder on the temperature readout. So it can go -20 on this as opposed to -10 on the earlier version. And the humidity values are slightly different. slightly better as you'd expect with it being IP65 rated. The humidity values are 0% to 100%. So clearly if you want to record values 0 to 5% or 95% to 100%, then go for this one. And it does have a magnetic back compared to the standard wall plate, so it depends really what you're going to be doing with it. But it doesn't kind of stand up very well on its own, if you know what I mean, as opposed to the original one. Right, so we are in the ewelink app, and I'm just going to do the plus sign on the top, then scan, and you can actually scan the QR code on the side, and that should pick that up pretty quickly. And then it's going to try and add the device to the app. It shows you a few instructions to begin with, including the button on the back that you need to press inside the battery compartment to actually sync the two items together. So add the device. So it then walks you through everything. So use a coin or a wide screwdriver to twist and remove the battery cover. And then pull the battery strip off to obviously start the thing working. And then you should see the top left signal icon flash. Now, if you don't, then you need to basically go behind the scenes inside the battery compartment, and you'll find a little touch button, and you need to just press that button, and that will invoke it pairing basically. So once you see it flashing, just press yes. Now to use this item with the ewelink app, don't forget you need a Zigbee bridge. Now you can either buy a Sonoff Zigbee bridge, or many other devices do also work, including the new Alexa Dots and many other items. So the firmware is updated, and now it's going to try and connect to the device. Hopefully this won't take longer than about 20 seconds. There we go, found the device, and then just press next. And Amazon's already found it as well. So there, oh, that was for the bridge. But now you can see it within the bridge menu. So once you've found it in the bridge menu, you can just tap on it, and then you'll see this screen. So you've got the temperature readout and the relative humidity readout, the battery symbol in the top right as well. And then if you go into settings, you'll see the name. You can obviously change the name. You'll see the current version of the firmware, the signal, and you can assign a location to it as well. And obviously there's all these different third-party platforms that you can connect it to. And in here you can change the Fahrenheit and Celsius. I've left it on Celsius. You can calibrate it as well if you've got a more exact temperature and humidity sensor that you want to calibrate it to, and then it just shows you the model numbers. So within this section as well, you will just see the graphs and things like that once we have some data. Now you can go to the history as well, so you can see 7 days, months, a month ago, or half year, so 6 months of data is kind of held within the app, and you can even download the data as well. So if you come out to the top menu, you can actually see it there as well. This is SNZB-02WD. You get a Celsius and humidity value there, so you don't have to keep going in via the Zigbee screen if you don't want to. So as I mentioned before, Alexa had already found it. So there it says at the top, the 02WD is connected. So if you tap into that, you can skip adding it to a group. But basically you can go into this and it will show you the humidity at the top there. And this is the dashboard, so you've got the temperature for the day and the week, and this is all within the Alexa app. Okay, so let's come into Home Assistant now and add it into Home Assistant. Fairly easy to do. just do permit join all on the top here, and don't forget to press the sync button in the back of the sensor. So once you've pressed the button inside the battery compartment, just permit to join all, and then it should appear. Oh, there we go. It's come in now. It took a while, I must admit. So it's showing that we've got the correct one, obviously from the picture. The picture certainly helps in here. This is within Zigbee to MQTT. That's what I'm using to connect. And I'm using a Sonoff USB dongle, which I find to be brilliant. The dongle wasn't brilliant before when connected to Home Assistant, but it is brilliant through Zigbee to MQTT for me. I've had no dropouts, and I really do like it. Because of that fact, really. So in this, let's have a look at this screen with it exposes the settings. So we've got the battery percentage we can look at and use. We've got the voltage, got the temperature, we've got the humidity. Obviously in here we can change the temperature units as well. And it also allows you to calibrate with the temperature and the humidity as well. And it shows you the link quality or the signal strength as well. So I've just renamed the device to Sonoff IP65 Temp, just so I can find it easier when it comes to creating something in like a test screen. So I'm just going to go in this screen, and then I'm going to add a card. So here we can see, so I've just typed in IP, we've got the battery, humidity, the calibration, the temperature calibration, temperature units, and the voltage. So let's go for temperature. Well, that's the units actually, I don't want that. I want the actual temperature. Save that. And then what we could do here is we could duplicate that, but this time let's go for something else. Let's go for the humidity. There we go, then we could just say done. And there's my temperature and the temperature humidity. Right, so that's the end of the video. Thanks very much for watching. If you are after one of these and you really need the IP65 rated version, go for it. It will register higher humidity, lower humidity, and lower temperatures as well. But if you are not really interested in those things, then I'd probably just stick with the normal one, to be honest. I mean, I've got lots of these and they work flawlessly, and I like the bigger screen compared to the smaller one. But the choice is really yours. And don't forget, I've got the links to both of these in the video descriptions below if you want to buy these online. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. I'll see you soon.